I take back what I just said. These are significantly... All right, this is a lot of light coming out of a tiny little package. We got some super high powered fog lights for the 2024 Sierra with the Duramax engine. You can hear it running in the background, but let's check these things out. So we swapped the fog lights with these high powered Diode Dynamics. I think they're SS2 sport lights. I didn't want to do the super high powered lights because I was a little concerned about how it would look when you aim them, if they're going to go up or down. I haven't even seen this at night yet, but the factory fog lights are quite literally, they're useless. They have no point, no purpose. They're not bright. They don't aim right. But I went with the driving combination lens, so we have a kind of a wider angle. You can see how the one side of it's bright and one side of it's not. We got a driving in like a flood situation, so it should be like a pretty wide angle light. Now these are special. It's not totally installed yet, so let me do something. Let me turn it off real quick. Y'all have seen what it looks like when it's on, right? So let's turn the truck off and I'll show you how this setup is real quick, because it's pretty neat. Okay, off. Oh, I gotta get in it for that. There we go. It didn't like that. Okay, now it's off. So, all right, let's go a little bit closer now that the engine's not running. So, this comes with a brand new bezel. The factory fog light is flush out here. This has a new bezel that comes in. You have your light. These actually have amber backlighting on them, but we didn't go through with that because you run it up to your headlight and the wire is actually really tight. So I'm going to probably have a professional do that. I don't want to screw these up. These headlights cost so much. I'm not here to mess up a harness, but these, the actual function of the light, are plug and play. So I think real quick, yeah, no one's coming. Let's dive under here real quick. Underneath here, I'll show you what's going on. All right, cool. You can see. So you can see this right here. You have a harness. You can purchase these bezels from FoxBeam. I got a link to the lights, and then there's a special harness I've got a link to as well. But it's straight plug and play. And then I've got the excess that's amber backlighting is a separate thing, not associated with the main wiring harness, and that just plugs into another power source that'll come on when the truck is on. But I'll have a professional do that. I'm not here to screw it up. Yeah, so here in a little while, I'll go ahead and show this at night. There is no point in doing a factory fog light comparison because the factory fog lights, the headlights on the OEM truck, come down pretty close to where the bottom of your view is, and the factory fog lights would barely go past that. So it's almost like the fog lights would come to like here, but your line of sight is like here. So I've driven in the fog and inclement weather. The factory fog lights didn't ever do anything anyway. So it was no, even if these aren't brighter, it's there's no loss necessarily by adding these. It's not the cheapest setup, but if these aim properly, the pro versions of these that have a much higher output light are also an option. I just saw Baja Designs after I bought these also have a fog light kit. Probably would have rather have done Baja Designs because I like how they look. I think they look really sharp in here. But yeah, so amber backlighting with this, once that's going with the amber, so these are white when your truck's normally running. There's a wiring harness kit to make these amber all the time. So once these are amber and that's amber, I think that's the move. I don't have a big rush to get that done right now because the fog lights are functional. We're gonna do this right the first time. We're gonna make this look super cool, but you can imagine with, well, here I can just unlock the truck and then you can see if those were amber all the time instead of white. And if you do that with amber down here, it'll be a nice, clean, smooth line. I think the amber, like the orange amber, is gonna be about the same too for the fog light and the headlight. So the wiring clip for this is tricky. It's not really tricky. It was tricky for me. It took me forever. It doesn't need to. The real install for this should probably take no more than like 45 minutes. It's 3 bolts on this side and 3 bolts on this side, all accessible by hand, not on a lift. Hand tool sockets, I think it's like a 7 or 9 millimeter. Don't hold me to it, get a socket kit. It's a small socket. Hand tools only, you don't need anything powered. If you get the plug and play harness, there's no splicing, you just plug it in. And I'll update you all later on how I tie in the backlighting, but for now, clearly they work as it is, and that's how I'm gonna keep it. If these don't put out enough power or enough light, if Addictive Desert Designs comes out with their bumper, I'll probably do that. And if not, this grill has so much room. There's lots of kits to add in here. You can either have individuals in here, or you have plenty of room right here for a pretty significant bar without blocking important airflow. Maybe do like a single row so it's not affecting much. But clearly I'm not a wiring person, and so I have no shame in the game with bringing in a professional. So on top of this, it's been brought up a few times, actually quite more than a few times, about rear lighting. So that's also gonna be next. Probably after I swap these to amber running lights. Those might be on back order, so we'll see. In the back, there's 3 options really. There's a company that makes an adapter for the hitch. It's actually super cool. It fills in this gap here, and it's got a plug and play harness into your trailer hitch, and so when you put it in reverse, you have auxiliary reverse lights. It also has lights that come out to the side if you want to, but that kit gets to like $600 really fast, super unnecessary. Other option is these are halogen lights in here. Those could be swapped to LEDs. If you have an AT4 or AT4X, that's not an option for you, so I'll probably pass on that. So this is applicable for more people. There's a pod kit that goes in here now, which is super sleek. I don't know what the wiring looks like on that, but I'm sure it's just ties into this. It doesn't make sense why it wouldn't just tie in. That's pretty cool looking. And then there's also just the basic, like every company ever makes a little reverse light kit that you either tap into here or just attach it straight onto here. Very rudimentary, but it clearly works without an issue. I was going to do a bed cover video for you. I don't know. There was a company who wanted to partner with me. I'm not really into it anymore. It was going to be like an advertisement for them, and that's not what I'm about. I'd like to do product reviews and things like that, but not if it's just straight, like, say good things about this product. That doesn't sound very good. So, yeah, otherwise, the rest of the truck is still awesome. I still have some rubbing issues, and I'm procrastinating taking care of it. And it's really one main area. On the passenger side, there's this tiny piece of metal, and it's grabbing pretty hard. It's not necessarily chewing into the tire, but it's a thing, and I just need to hit it with a hammer, and it would go away pretty quick. So, pretty excited about these fog lights, and it's not quite dark yet, so yeah, hopefully we can get back here at night. Yeah, let's just cut it, and we'll see you back here at night. Peace. I'm gonna do some quick driving. This is just with the fog lights. So, and if you know what these fog lights do if you know what the factory fog lights did, they didn't do anything. So this is pretty darn impressive. I'm gonna go and switch back so I don't blind somebody. But here it is with the headlights. But a lot of light coming out of that little package. Super awesome. Okay, we're gonna do a quick test. We got the truck running. We'll do it kind of quick. We're at a park, but we got some trees off in the distance, so I'll show you with just the new fog lights. So they're pretty narrow. They do go pretty far. And then we'll add the headlights. Now I'll toggle the fog lights off and on. So you can see they definitely add some distance down there. I think if I was going to do it again, I would opt for the Pros fog lights. I think that would be worth it to pay the extra, because it would be able to go a bit further, and that'll make a big difference. But I think that they're still definitely worth it. They definitely add some focus down the line. I think on a country road, these will be worth it and give a little more peace of mind seeing further out, maybe some deer or anything like that. Just turn off when you turn those on. But yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of light out of a tiny package. So yeah, still 10 out of 10. Definitely still recommend it. But I would just probably opt for the Pros. I mean, if you're a little budget tight, these are still a solid option. I think these are going to help a lot. Especially just, I mean, the fact that this is your button, is the factory switch. You just can't beat it. So if you got questions on this, leave a comment down below. I'll answer all of them if I can. And we'll do some more headlight mods, maybe those amber running lights. Need some reverse auxiliary lights. And yeah, otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.